the third trimester. Well, we've made it to almost all the way. I'm almost 38 weeks pregnant, so that's good. So let me just get on into it. Third trimester symptoms, or like things that's been happening. It has been a crazy trimester. It's been a stressful trimester. So basically, as soon as I got into the third trimester, I started having problems. Up until the third trimester, my pregnancy was going pretty well for the most part. Not that it ever went like super bad, but around, I guess it was like 31 weeks. I think it was like at my 31-week ultrasound appointment. We got like all kinds of news. I was told I have polyhydramnios, which is an excess amount of amniotic fluid, which can lead to problems. And I was told my baby is measuring really large for his gestational age. And I was told he was now breech, but it wasn't too big of a problem then because he still had plenty of time to flip. But at the same time, they're kind of worried about it because whenever you have a larger baby and you have an excess amount of amniotic fluid, I was told that you are at a pretty high risk of delivering prematurely. So we got all that news, I think, at like week 31. No, it had to be before week 31 because I had my baby shower at like week 33 and they didn't know if I was going to even make it to 33. I guess it was like it had to be like my 28-week appointment. And then like we went back at 30 weeks or 31 weeks. He was still breech, still had a lot of amniotic fluid, still measuring really large. And then, so I guess at the appointment after that one, I guess it had to be like around, at this point it had to be, I guess around 32 or 33 weeks at my ultrasound appointment, or at my OB appointment. My OB was really, really concerned I was going to go into premature labor. She said, she wasn't too concerned with his, like the size of him, that yes, he was a larger baby, but he wasn't alarmingly large to her. He was measuring in the 77th percentile, and she said she doesn't get really nervous until they measure in the 90th percentile. So she didn't really care that he was measuring really big. She cared about how much amniotic fluid I had. And it can mean like different things that could be wrong with your baby as to why you have too much amniotic fluid. You could just have too much amniotic fluid. It can lead to many different problems, which I'm just not even going to talk about or say because they're not good. But I got told all that. So at 31 weeks pregnant, we packed our hospital bags because we were told that I would be lucky to make it to 34 weeks. She was really thinking he's going to come at 34 weeks. Maybe I can get to 35, but she highly doubted I would get to 35 weeks. So she told me what to watch for, all of that. So, and then plus he was breech and breached. So yeah, we got like a bunch of news, and like up until then he was always like looking really good, everything was fine, so it was like out of nowhere. As far as the diabetes part goes, they don't believe that it's known that diabetics have larger babies anyways, like they just do. Like my diabetes is completely under control. It's the best it's ever been. As far as my health goes, it's the best it's ever been since I've been diagnosed with diabetes, which was 13 years ago. And my A1C is 5.0. It did go up from 4.8 to 5.0, but that's still really awesome, amazing A1C. And I am extremely insulin resistant, like scary insulin resistant at this time because of the placenta and its hormones. It blocks your insulin, basically. It makes you extremely insulin resistant. So I am on like the most insulin I've ever taken in my entire life. And I'm still, you know, luckily under control. My blood sugars are pretty good, or really good for the most part. But it's just scary, like how much insulin I'm having to take because I'm not used to. I mean, like before I was pregnant, I would take maybe, I guess, like 15 units a day bolused by me. And then I'd of course have my background basal insulin, which was a continuous drip, but that wasn't like much. So I'd probably get like 20 units of insulin total a day. And now I'm having like 50 to like 70 units a day. And I am like not used to that. So that's scary. But it's okay. And so I'm really lucky that my diabetes is going well. None of my doctors think it's due to the diabetes that I have an excess amount of amniotic fluid. And they say they don't think that's why he's large, but I've always been told diabetics have larger babies. Like I was told that in the beginning, that like I'm probably gonna have a really large baby. So I don't know. It's weird. But yes, so extremely insulin resistant. That would be the only thing really with my diabetes, as far as diabetes goes with all of this during this third trimester, is just the insulin resistance. And then I've been told, like, once I deliver, like as soon as I deliver and the placenta's out and all that, I need to go back to my pre-pregnancy settings on my diabetes pump. And so I'm ready for that. Like I'm ready to get back to normal. But yeah, I cannot, like, I didn't really think this through before I sat down to film it. This little boy is a very active little boy. He is always moving, always kicking, which is good, but he's an active little man. Okay, so fast forward. So they didn't think I was going to even make it to like 34, 35 weeks. Then I went back at like 34 weeks for another ultrasound. And my amniotic fluid had decreased a lot, which was good. And I was still told I had polyhydramnios, but it wasn't near as bad as what it was. So that was a good sign, because towards the end of the third trimester, your amniotic fluid starts to decrease anyways. So that was good. And yeah, so, and he was still breech. And then they told me, you know, he's just getting bigger at this point. He's probably not going to flip back. Like, you're going to have a C-section, because not only is he so large, but he's breeched, and there's like no chance he's going to flip, most likely. So I was like, okay, so I had to prepare myself for that, because up until then, everybody, like all my specialists, all my endocrinologists, everybody was like really on me of, you really want to deliver vaginally, like you really, like it's better for you healing with you being diabetic, yada, yada, yada. So I was like geared and ready for, you know, to deliver vaginally. And now people were telling me, you're going to have a C-section. So I had to like change my mindset, which I'm fine. Like, I don't care, like either one. Like, I'm not, like, it's not gonna, like, lots of people get upset if they have to have a C-section, but I'm not upset about it. I was just nervous because, like, I was prepared for a vaginal delivery, because, like, that's what I knew and what I had researched and what I was prepared for. And now they're telling me, like, no girl, you're gonna have a C-section. So I had to research that. I watched some YouTube videos on like healing with a C-section, like C-section birth vlogs and things like that. And now I'm like, okay, I can do this. Like, it's gonna be all right. So yeah, that happened. Then this, so then at that appointment, like, they were like, okay, you're at 34 weeks, your amniotic fluid has decreased. I think we can actually get you to like 37 weeks, 37, 38 weeks. And I was like, okay. My husband and I were already, like, we had been prepared since 31 weeks. Like, we've had our bags packed since 31 weeks because we were told we were probably going to have a premature baby. And sorry, that's my dog, if you can hear that. And anyways, so thank goodness, like, thank the Lord so much that I have been able to cook this baby longer. He's stayed put in there. I've made it to full term, 37 weeks. I'll be 38 weeks in like 3 days, 2 or 3 days. So I'm really happy to have made it this far. My OB wants to deliver at 39 weeks, so, which is crazy to me because from the very beginning, before I even had problems, she told me she wanted to deliver me at 38 weeks. And now she's like, actually, like, you're doing so well, your diabetes is so good, like, I want to keep him in there as long as I can. We'll deliver you at 39 weeks. I don't want you going over 39 weeks, so 39 weeks. So, whew. I'm very thankful. I know it's really good for him because diabetics babies' lungs don't develop as quickly as normal babies. So the reason she wants me to hang in there and deliver him at 39 weeks if I can is because when he's 39 weeks, he should have the lungs of a 37-week baby. And, you know, it could always be different. Like, he may have the lungs of a 39-week baby, but in most cases, she said diabetics babies' lungs run about 2 weeks behind. So if he's 39 weeks, he'll have a full-term set of lungs. So that's really good. I'm so big and so uncomfortable, and I hate to say that because I'm so, like, happy and excited and blessed and amazed and in love that I'm able to experience this pregnancy and be pregnant. Like, it makes me feel guilty that I'm, like, so uncomfortable and so ready for him to be here. But, like, I don't know, I guess that's just a part of whenever you get this far along and this big, you just get really uncomfortable. And okay, so 37 weeks, I made it to 37 weeks. I went to another ultrasound appointment, and I was told he was no longer breached, and they couldn't believe it. They were like, wow, he's head down. They didn't think it was going to happen because of his size, but he is luckily head down. However, my amniotic fluid is, like, at an all-time high. It's the highest it's been this whole time. So the polyhydramnios is still there. At my previous visit, it had decreased a lot. It was actually to where it was, like, borderline, like, barely even, like, I wasn't even really considered polyhydramnios. And now it's, like, shot back up. So that was the only, like, kind of bad news we got. Not that it's really bad news, but I don't know. It's just, you want to have a normal amount of fluid. You don't want it to be too low. You don't want it to be too high. And it just makes mamas worry. But, so yeah, that's at all-time high. He is measuring really big. He's already measuring 8.5 pounds, and I'm only 37 weeks, almost 38 now, but at the ultrasound I was 37 weeks. And, like, exactly 37 weeks. So the ultrasound guy was like, okay, he's head down now, so you don't have to have a C-section, but I really recommend having a C-section, because if not, you know, you can try vaginally, but you're probably going to end up in an emergency C-section anyways, because he is measuring so big and I'm small. So he really recommends me continuing on with the plan of having a C-section, and my husband and I, you know, we're fine with a C-section, so we're going to keep the C-section. I am a little bit nervous about it because I've never had, like, a major surgery. I mean, like, I've had, like, oral mouth surgery and stuff, but I've never, like, been cut open and, like, had a major surgery. But it'll be okay. I know my doctors and endocrinologists are kind of worried about the healing part of it since I am diabetic. Diabetics take longer to heal. But I mean, like, they're on board. They know the game plan of what to do. And, you know, when you're diabetic, you're at a higher risk of infection. So they've, like, they know what to do. Like, they know. But I'm going to have a longer healing time, and that's not going to be fun, but I will get to hold a beautiful, sweet little baby boy, so that will make up for it. It'll all be worth it. So I'm still going to have a C-section because he told me, the ultrasound specialist told me that by the time I deliver, my baby, is probably going to be a 10-pound baby. So, and of course that's just an estimation, but he really recommends I do the C-section, so I'm going to stick with the C-section. I am nervous because of all of this coronavirus pandemic stuff, because the hospital I am delivering at is no longer allowing visitors. So it will just be my husband and I. I'm not allowed to have any visitors come. So the grandparents can't come, and they are not happy about it. I'm not happy about it, but I know it's for good reasons. I know it's worth it. Like, you know, I don't want to risk giving anybody germs or giving, especially a newborn baby, germs. So I think it's great that they're taking those measures, but it sucks because it's my first baby, and I want, like, the first baby experience with all the visitors and, you know, all the pictures to look back on of everybody coming and visiting. But it will be okay. It will be all right. And, you know, again, I understand the reason for it. So, yeah, that's pretty much, like, I feel like I'm just rambling a lot in this, but that's pretty much, like, all the news I have. Like, that's my 3rd trimester recap. I'm out of breath. I have a huge baby, but I'm so excited to meet him. Like, I am so excited. And I'm so glad he's not breached anymore, because breached babies, if you've ever been as far along as I was, because he had just flipped. Like, I know when he flipped because it hurt. Like, I was driving and I had to pull over and my husband had to drive because I didn't know what was happening. So, like, my appointment was on a Monday when they told me he was head down now. And on a Friday is when we were driving and I had to pull over, and I was like, you've got to drive, babe, because there's something crazy going on. Like, he thought I was going into labor or something. Like, it was nuts. And then, like, I kind of, like, I was thinking, I still had the mindset, there's no way he flipped. Like, maybe he was trying to flip it. There's no way he did, because they were, like, everybody was telling me he's too big, he's not going to be able to flip. But then on Monday we found out he did flip. But yeah, it feels really different having a breached baby versus having him head down. Like, whenever you get this far along and can actually tell, because, like, when he was breached, he was constantly kicking my bladder, and, like, I actually felt like his little feet, like, kicking my bladder and stuff. And now he's, like, head down, so I feel his feet, like, up here, and I don't know, it's really interesting. It's really cool. It's really interesting. He's big, he's strong, so it's really uncomfortable. And he is, again, so active. Oh, something I didn't talk about. This is, like, kind of, it's on subject, but off subject. So in the 3rd trimester, I started having to have NSTs twice a week, which are non-stress tests for the baby. They like to make sure that he is not in any distress. If he is in distress, then I have to be admitted. So I get admitted to the hospital twice a week. If he's doing okay, I get discharged. So since 28 weeks pregnant, I have been going to my hospital twice a week, again, getting admitted, monitoring him for about normally I think they monitor you for like 20 to 30 minutes. He always acts crazy, so I'm there for like an hour. Like they monitor him for probably about 40 minutes, and then they have to get a hold of my OB, make sure everything's okay, and yeah, so that's twice a week. He is a very active baby, so like they put a contraction monitor on you, and then they put a fetal heart rate monitor on you, and like monitor him, and he moves so much during those things. Like he hates being strapped in by the straps they strap around you, so like as soon as I get strapped in, like all the way there, I can drive there, and he will be just like a calm, like a few kicks, like the normal movements, and then I get there, they get me strapped up, and he like does not like to be strapped in, and he goes nuts, and then his heart rate gets like super high, and then they get worried, and they tell me like flip over, like lay on your side. They give me water to drink. They freak me out. I have like a little mini heart attack every time because I don't know, but then I get discharged, so everything's okay. And here recently, like the past maybe two or 3 weeks that I've gone, each time his heart rate's actually been lower. So they make me drink like this big, huge jug of ice water, I guess to get his heart rate up, which I don't know, because whenever his heart rate was high, they still gave me water sometimes. But this last time I went, this week, his heart rate was kind of lower than what they wanted. And so they got this like little black, like, I don't know what it's called. I've never seen it before. And the nurse came in, she was like, okay, I need his heart rate to get up like one more time to have a good baseline on him. So I'm gonna have to shock him. And I was like, what? You're gonna have to shock him? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, it's just like a little, like, I have to give him like a vibrated like shock thing. And so she put the thing on my belly, and like sure enough, it was like a little like this strong vibration like shock thing. And he like flipped out, and she was like, oh, he did not like that, but it worked. His heart rate's up good, so this is good. Let me go call your OB. And I'm like, okay, like what did you just do to him? Like what was that? I've never had that before. So it's been interesting experiences, but luckily he is doing good, and we will get to meet this little man shortly, and I'm so excited. So I think that is pretty much it. That is my 3rd trimester video, and let me show you my big old belly. Just a second, if I can get out of this chair. Okay. Here's my nice belly button that's popping out like crazy. Oh, another thing. So, I started getting stretch marks, which, you know, it's normal. It's a normal thing. It doesn't bother me actually at all. I thought it would bother me a lot, but it doesn't. But it was really interesting because, again, at like 31 weeks, I had one stretch mark appear. And like I woke up one morning and I had one, and I was like, is this even a stretch mark? Like, what is this? What is this? And then the next day I woke up again, I had like 4 more, and I was like, oh my goodness, these are stretch marks. Like, what the heck? And then I've just gotten more like since then. But my husband is fine with them. I mean, you know, it's I'm a mama tiger earning my stripes. And I think stretch marks are actually really beautiful because they tell such an amazing story. And so yeah, they don't bother me. You know, who knows if I'm gonna be saying that once I have him and my body like starts getting a little bit back to normal, you know. Who knows how I'm gonna feel about them then, but I don't think they're gonna be too bad because, again, I think they're beautiful. They tell the story of my little man, and yeah, I kind of like them. Like that sounds weird, but yeah. So stretch marks, that was one more thing. But anyways, let me show you my belly now. I can't, I'm not a good focuser. Let me see. Where am I gonna set you guys to show you my belly? Okay, so yeah, he is a big boy. He's ginormous. And before I was pregnant, I weighed 134 pounds. And now I weigh 170. So I have gained quite a bit of weight, but it's this big old belly, this big old baby. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know where to look because I'm filming on my iPhone instead of my camera, so I don't know, like, am I supposed to look here or am I supposed to look here? Like, I don't know where to look. So if this looks weird, sorry. Okay, so I was just, sorry, here's my cute puppy. She's like looking like, hi, what's going on? I was reviewing my video and I noticed that I forgot two third trimester symptom things. I'm sorry if I'm like talking kind of lower. My husband is on a business call right now while he's working from home and I don't want to be too loud. So anyways, two symptoms. I've also had, like, over the past, I guess 3 weeks maybe, my feet and ankles started swelling really bad. And now it's not only my feet and ankles, it's my fingers and my face as well. And it's not, luckily it's not my blood pressure or anything. My blood pressure is actually has done pretty well. But I guess it's just like normal third trimester swelling. Some mornings I can't even get my ring off. So it's yeah, the swelling I'm not used to. Like, I don't know. But swelling, and then the other one is I am never hot. Like, I'm always freezing. Excuse you? I am always freezing cold. Like, I take... Riley, come here. Riley, just a second. Okay. Anyways, sorry for that interruption. So the other thing was, like, I have been, like, so hot. Like, I am never ever hot. I'm always freezing cold. Like, even in the summertime, like, I can wear a sweater. Like, I think it's like a thing because I have hypothyroidism, and I know you can be like colder with that, but the pregnancy hormones have definitely like taken over my body temperature stuff, because I like, this has probably started about 3 weeks ago as well, is I get so hot, like in the middle of the night hot, like I have to strip my clothes off hot, and like sweaty, and I'm not used to that because, again, I'm always like, for like literally since I've been diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which was like, I don't even know how many years ago now. Silly, my dogs. Anyways, I'm like always cold, and so I'm not used to being hot, so this is an interesting one. And my poor husband, like, normally he's like hotter than me. He, like, I'll always be freezing and like wanting to turn off the AC in the car, and he'll be like hot and stuff, and now it's like roles are reversed. And so so I am the one that's hot and wanting the AC on in the car, and he's like freezing. So I'll be glad when I go back to normal and I'm back to my cold-natured self, because I'm not used to being hot. Like, I'd rather be cold than hot. But anyways, yeah, that was 2 more symptoms that I forgot to mention. Anyways, that's my 3rd trimester video. Thank you guys for watching. I know they're all over the place, or I'm all over the place in these videos, so sorry. But yeah, that's my 3rd trimester for anybody that was interested and wanted to watch. Bye, guys.